There's one shot that holds the crown for the worst visual effects shot of all time. The Rock from The Mummy Returns. Whew. Now, whether or not it's actually the worst VFX shot of all time, maybe not, but it sure is goofy looking. Now, we had an overwhelming response from you guys asking us to fix the shot. And you know what? We finally have a free day in the studio. So I'm gonna gather my VFX bros, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk about it and see if we can fix the Scorpion King.
This movie is another honest attempt at recreating the charm that Indiana Jones had.
I loved The Mummy.
You know what? The Mummy did it. The Mummy was successful. Oh,
Yeah.
here we go. All right, guys.
Pretty good so far.
It's okay so far.
Pretty good so far.
Looks good. Animation's great.
They're using that Jurassic Park kind of limited lighting thing there, and
Ooh. Ooh,
Man.
ooh.
See, that doesn't look bad.
The animation for the Scorpion itself is excellent. Whoever hand animated the Scorpion freaking killed it. And also the lighting's really solid. Like the Scorpion's body itself blends really well with the scene, and like the cues with all the flames going off and that affects the lighting on the Scorpion, that all looks really good. And then they have this close-up shot of the Rock's face. And I think there's a great discovery that happened right then where everybody realized the human face is way more difficult than just having CG stuff in the scene.
the expressions don't seem to kind of like sync up at any one particular point, causing the face to look a little unnatural.
Yeah, like one half of his face smiles and the other half of his face is frowning right here. Happy Rock, angry Rock.
And that's the thing, and it's like the lips will like adjust before the eyes adjust, I think. That's what it seemed like a little bit. Everything just feels like it's not quite synced up.
He's too dry. But I guess, you know, if you're a scorpion entombed for thousands of years, like, you'd probably be a little crusty.
He's got mummy dust all over him.
Let's just pretend that there's been eternal flames burning for thousands of years while he's been entombed. He'd be pretty sweaty, right?
If you look at the faces of the other characters in the scene, you can tell that there's this level of like specular detail on all of them. It's like maybe it's either like a sharpness or the specularity on their skin is shinier, but it looks a little like waxy and plasticky compared to everyone else in the scene. And the thing is, like, everyone else in the scene has the same skin tones, they're in the same lighting conditions, so there were like really good references for what his face should look like. When you pause here, you can see like the little inconsistencies in the face. When we look at the Rock's face, it's just kind of it's all like super smooth, like an apple. And then also just look at the lighting mismatch there too. Look how hot that light is. You know, it's not even reflecting off the face.
Another big thing I noticed, so there's a lot of gate flare from this fire. It shines and reflects onto the film or onto your camera sensor, and that's what's happening here. We're seeing this yellow streak coming in off the side. Now, the Scorpion King has been composited on top of that flare, when technically he should be underneath that flare, because that flare is something that's happening at the sensor. And so if he is part of the scene, that flare would be on top of him. So we could fix that as well, and that'd make him look like he's more part of the shot. Sam, what are you gonna fix in this shot? What are you gonna do?
I am gonna use some cool tricks to add a little bit of rumble into the shot to maybe give the guy a little more weight, and then I'm going to do a little bit of like 2D relighting to make him blend with the scene, and probably do a little pass to bring out some highlights. Hopefully that works.
Peter, what do you got?
Those flames are getting no respect in the sensor. I'm gonna extrapolate them and add some bloom to the edges, you know, add some optical flares, really get that light going, some imperfections, that sort of thing.
Like a Gordon Ramsay of optical flares, I like it. Clint, what do you got?
That ancient door, it's not ancient enough, so I'm gonna make sure that ashes from all the lost souls are falling off that door when he interacts with it. Nico, how are you gonna fix the face?
That's a good question. That is the main offender. It's just the Rock's mug right there, his PS2 cinematic just snarling at you. I got a plan to fix that. So before jumping into this, I just want to mention that we actually have something pretty big at stake here. You know, we have this VFX Artist React series.
They're not filming in black and white! They're not!
But if we can't pull this shot off, no one's gonna take us seriously in our videos anymore.
That's the end of the series, right?
We could be digging our own graves with this episode. VFX artists dig their own CG graves.
All right.
I'll run to the
so
coffin.
what's the plan? All right, gentlemen, you each have your task for the day. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, Scorpion. 1, 2, 3, Scorpion.
The original shot is like butter smooth, yet it's this big lumbering creature bonking stuff, so I felt like it could use a little bit of camera shake, you know? On the face here, we see this white fire down in the corner here, and we look at his skin up in this area. People's skin aren't that matted. You know, if you've been underground in a cave for years with your oily skin and you haven't washed your face, and maybe it's the desert and you're hot, it's gonna reflect white. So basically what I did there is, it's very subtle. What I'm doing is I'm taking the footage and I'm just extracting everything until it's just like the near whites of the scene. I'm isolating that. I'm just bringing those tones out a little bit more. And then to make it look a little more natural, bring a little even further extra detail in, I'm actually using noise as my alpha matte, just to kind of simulate like the roughness and pores of human skin. And I think it helps because you can see it kind of has a little bit of extra shine on it right now. Compared to the other characters in the scene, this matches better.
Yo, what up, son? You know, sometimes in the world, you see something that's been done and you think, I could do that better. And that's exactly what today's sponsor, Raycon, has done. Now, let me tell you a little bit about these headphones. Originally, Raycon reached out to us and they said, hey, guys, would you be interested in endorsing our headphones? And I said, well, you gotta send me some because I need to try them out with my ears first before I can say whether or not I actually like them and whether or not I wanted to tell you about them. There's a bunch of other wireless headphones out there and you might have some yourself or you might still be saving up to buy a pair. Well, the wait is over here with Raycon because they offer a fantastic quality at about half of the price of other premium wireless earbuds. Now, this is their base model. This is the E50. These are the ones that I've been using and they fit great. They don't fall out when I run. They sound clear as day no matter the type of music that I'm listening to. And again, they come at about half the price of other premium wireless earbuds. So if you guys are interested, head on over to buyraycon.com/corridorcrew and you'll get 20% off your purchase.
That's pretty good.
20%, it's not bad. Not bad at all.
So as you know, it's my task to do the face. This might seem like an impossible task at first. Like, am I going to rebuild The Rock in CG? Am I gonna go and like find a bunch of pictures and do photogrammetry and rebuild his face? Do I have a secret Rock 3D model? That's way too much work, and I only have like a day to do this. So here's my plan. You guys saw our Tom Cruise deepfake. I should be able to do the same technique. I'm gonna take a real Dwayne Johnson. I'm gonna put him on a CG Scorpion King. I don't think anyone's done that before. So the thing with the deepfake is you need to get a bunch of source material of the face. Now, The Rock right now does not look like The Rock from The Mummy Returns. And that's 2001 Rock. But you know what? I got a good idea. The Scorpion King movie exists, and that's just The Rock as a Scorpion King for the entire movie. I spent like 2 hours scrubbing through the movie. I extracted every single time it was The Rock's face. It's just the most authentic Scorpion King experience and source material you could ever hope for. With these elements of The Rock from the Scorpion King, I should be able to replicate his look very, very accurately. Theoretically, I think this is gonna work really well. Would you guys like to see the deepfake?
This is actually a thing that I've been thinking about a lot too, which is what if we start to use real faces on CG characters, or even better yet, what if we train the deepfake algorithm to learn a CG face and then put it on a real person? What is that gonna look like? There's some really twisted stuff you can do. I think this is the first step in discovering that.
First, I'm just gonna play the original for you guys.
Okay.
I'm so excited. Dude, there's no way it's gonna work. Like with all the firelight inside of his head flashing like that, dude.
All right, so that's the original. Here we go.
What a reveal.
I'm nervous. This doesn't work.
I'm nervous too.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, that's weird.
Dude, it looks so much better.
But it looks like it does.
That is actually, I think, a little better.
It's really tamed all the expressions.
It was that one expression where he was like, and his lips like do like this. So much of the shot still screams like early 2000s CGI, like that plasticky skin look, but changing that face and improving that face improved the entire shot as a whole pretty substantially.
Once again, we're fixing the shot and not redoing it, but I think the little changes we've made will still make a big difference.
All right, guys, it's time for the big reveal.
Wait. Nico, hold on. Before we do the big reveal, just wanted to say, I feel like I made the shot perfect. So let me just show all you guys.
Oh, for real?
All of it?
Yeah, I redid the whole shot.
What is it?
Dude, you did like a space battle zoom.
Oh man. Dude, that's really good.
Like chromatic aberration there.
The refocus?
Yeah, so, I mean, we can just go with that one. I guess we don't have to show the other one.
Love the J.J. Abrams flares and the fire in front of his face.
That was Clint's idea.
All right. I want to see the actual final. Are you ready? That looks pretty good.
Wow.
I think the shininess paid off a lot.
The forehead shine, the face is definitely much better. The chest shine, your shine technique works.
Boom. Like this looks great.
That.
Man, like this is the biggest difference right here. When it gets close up to the camera, we still struggle with some of the limitations of the technology and having to do it in a day. I'm not trying to make excuses, but definitely like when he's busting through the door right here, the camera shake is really nice and gives it some like grounding, but it's not overdone. The dust on contact with the door like helps connect him to the world a little bit more.
Let's not discount Peter's flare over the arm here, over the claw.
It's one of those things that's so natural, like in normal looking, that once it's in there, you just don't notice it at all. But when it's not in there, it makes it look like The Rock's super CG. What we have now, I definitely think is an improvement. Well, that was a fun day spent in the studio. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the shot. And actually, if you think there's another visual effects shot out there that we could try fixing, I'd love to try more of these. And if you want to see what those look like, please consider subscribing. We got a bunch more wonky experiments to do. We just got the motion capture suit back, and we have some pretty cool plans with that. Have you ever wanted to do an obstacle course? Where the obstacle course exists only in the computer, so in real life you're doing weird things, but you can't see what you're dodging until you're looking at the computer screen?
Maybe you haven't wanted to do that, but you will after you see us do it.
Yeah. Subscribe to Corridor Crew and enjoy the rest of your time on this earth.
Ominous.